So nobody asked it, but I decided to do a little tutorial for y'all on how I'm doing these little blue flowers on the edges of my daughter's skirt. So I finished one panel finally, and this is where it will be attached to the skirt. And I'm going to now work on another panel, and I thought I would share that with you guys. So we have 3 more here to do before I can attach all of the rest of the pieces to the skirt, so we're going to move those out of the way. And then this is our embroidery floss for the flowers. It is actually just 4 colors, 4 strands, but I put it through and then I do a knot. I put it through and then I do a knot. So it turns out to end up being 8 strands in the work. So it's really nice. Looks really good. These are the colors I'm using to create the flower. I take 2 floss from this, 1 from this one, and 1 from this one, and then I create the flower part. And then with these 2 different color greens here, here's the dark green and the light greens. So those greens are what create the these little leaves here. That's how I create the leaves. I don't really show y'all too well, but it looks really nice. It does give the piece a little bit more depth, I think. So it's a little extra, but it's not a big deal. Then I got my little bird-shaped embroidery scissors. Loving that. Kind of looks like Galaxy. And you're gonna hear him singing in the background there. Okay, so this, I've already pre-marked all the corners, so I didn't have to worry about that later, finding a corner I wanted to be the top. So now how we're going to do this is we have to take our little fabric marker here, and we're going to create our dots for where, we're basically going to write out our pattern a little. We're just going to make the dots where the flowers will go, and then afterwards I'll show you how to do the leaves. So this side's going to go down, so all the flowers will lean more towards the left edge here. See, they'll go this way. And then on the opposite side, we're spacing the dots out enough that we know after we do our flowers, we'll have enough space for our stems. So it's going to go this way. And then, let me zoom in a little bit so you guys can see that a little better. So it's going to go in this direction. And then on this side, we're going to make sure the dots lean heavily towards the right. And by that I mean, again, we're just going to place them in a way that will have the flowers facing down. And I'm basically going to go ahead and mark the entire panel so that the entire panel shows the pattern before we get started, so we don't ever have to go back and do that after we're done with this one. I am using a water-soluble fabric pencil. It's just plain white. I got it from Hobby Lobby. Most of everything I got it from Hobby Lobby because it's like my favorite store.